Hello, everyone. This is actually my third time joining the ПiEMAI Mongolia Chapters Conference, so I'm very excited. Okay, and today I'm going to share a real case about how we practice Agile in a real project. And I think in the past previous presentation by Alex and earlier by Scott, we also learned some concepts about Agile, and we'll see how we practice them in the real world. And this is a little background about myself. And I am also an IT background myself. And in my professional career experience, I work basically all for the information systems. And currently, I'm also the president of PiEmAI Taiwan Chapter. And I founded a company called Mamas Technologies in 2002. The case I'm going to share today is about my company, Mamas Technologies. So as I say, it was founded in 2002 in Taiwan, and it's a software service provider. And the application we provide are like project management information systems, Kanban for Agile, and other e-form applications. And as we all know, the traditional software developments are using Waterfall approach. So these products were originally developed using Waterfall. That means through some kind of system analysis, system design, development, testing, and eventually roll out to the market, to the customers. And of course, this cycle is very long. And like what Alex just said, if we have to do some kind of rework, it's very troublesome. So therefore, we adapt some kind of Agile practices into the product development. And officially, we switched to Agile since 2017. So that was not long ago. Even though before that, we have some kind of daily meeting or that kind of Agile practices, but we officially switched to Agile in 2017. However, we also found some problems. So now we are doing some kind of hybrid. That means we mix certain Agile practices with Waterfall applications. And this is what I'm going to share today. So we just learned about what Agile is, and I believe most people also know what Waterfall is, so I'm going to skip this part. And the main cons about Waterfall is if we do a lot of things and redo again, it will take you a lot more time. However, for the Agile, when your customers ask, how or what are you going to deliver to us 3 months from now? It is very difficult to say to your customers. And for the customers, they may not take this no for answer. So when you want to do Agile practices, it's very difficult to work with your customers very closely. And I think Alex just shared, we have a shorter cycle time for Agile methodologies or the work of doing Agile. That means we probably do a few iterations, then we release the product to the market. And the traditional way of doing Agile is you prepare your product backlog items. Okay, and you pick your higher priorities from your product backlogs into your to-do list within each iteration. And then your developers will do these things from the to-do list and go through the done process. And now there's a question. And there's also the difficulties we faced. What is done? Since usually our teams are from different backgrounds. Some are business people, some are technical people. So no one really knows everything end to end. So when we ask a software developer, are you done? And he said, yes. That probably only means the program is done. However, if a program is done, doesn't mean the program is usable. And the program is usable doesn't mean the program is marketable or acceptable by the customers. So when we do these pure Agile practices, and we rely on our developers to do a lot of things by their own. However, it's like I just said, our people are from different backgrounds. Not everyone can do everything end to end. So a faster or shorter iteration cycles probably causes some kind of quality issues. So later on, we switch to a little bit mini Waterfall. As you see, we are still doing the iterative approaches. And within each iteration, we still have a to-do list picked from the product backlog items. And the software developers are working on those items in this WIP, that means work in progress stages. And when they are done, our quality team will verify their work. And after the items are verified by our quality team, our business team will do another round of verification from a business angle. And then at the end, it's done. So when in this kind of approach, what's done means what can be used by the end real customers. So this cycle, from to do, work in progress, meaning development and design development, and to verify, meaning testing. UAT also means another round of testing by the business people. So this whole concept is really waterfall. But unlike traditional waterfall processes, which takes months or even longer, this cycle is only 2 weeks, because in our traditional iteration length, it's only 2 weeks. That means it's very fast. So that's why we call it the hybrid process. So at this end, what's done, we can deliver to our customers. So usually we're using 1 or 2 iterations, or at least, or at most 4 iterations, we deliver something to the market. So Kanban is a very common tool for the Agile practices. We also use Kanban for our daily stand-up meetings. There are a lot of Kanban tools like Trello, like Jira, and since our own product has a Kanban feature, so we use our own products. And you can see here, for each iteration, there's a corresponding Kanban. And in the Kanban, there are 5 stages or 5 statuses: on to do, work in process, to verify UAT, and done. That is corresponding to the mini waterfall process I just mentioned. So during our daily stand-up meeting, so we review what's been done. And what's been done, reviewed by the developers, what's been done, move them to verify status. Also reported by our quality team, what's been verified, move them to the UAT. And also reported by our business team, what's been UAT or user acceptance tested, we move them to done. So this is just done in like 10 or 15 minutes in our daily meeting. So it's a very quick meeting. So here are a few practices we do. First of all, when you have a very quick waterfall cycle, that's why we have a waterfall in 2 weeks only, not in 2 months or 4 months. So a lot of things have to be automated. So our developers write their software code with a built-in unit test. And all those software building processes are automatic. So for people who are not IT or software background, let me explain a little bit what does it mean by build a software. I think we all know build a house, build a bridge. That means a lot of people working together to build something. And when we say build a software, it means we put together the programs written by different programmers and put them together or compile them together into a working piece. That's what we call a build process. And since this kind of mini waterfall require a lot of automations, so we have a daily build with automatic daily unit test. If the unit test fail, it will not go into the to verify stage. Okay, so this part is done automatically. And when those items are verified by our quality team, we also move them to the to UAT. And then we have a weekly UAT build. So UAT build is weekly. Okay. And then our business team will verify again and move them to done. Okay. So with these automatic processes, we can have our mini waterfall working very quickly and shortly. And one thing, a few things to remind everyone here. When we do the stand-up meeting, remember it's a quick meeting. Normally for us, it's 10 to 15 minutes. So if there are a lot of things to discuss, we always separate them to different working meetings. Okay. Also, when it says done by everyone, we still need to demonstrate to some user representative or our customers representatives. So this is truly done. And then since this is a product, so we have a beta version to a beta site. So we really get the real customers' feedback before we release to a broader market. So within a company, there are development team, there are quality team and business team, but all these are still internal users. But before we roll out to the public, for the general public, we have a beta site for invited customers to do some kind of beta testing. So with all these processes, we are able to embed a very short and very quick mini waterfall within each iteration. And again, iteration is only 2 weeks long. So it's a very short cycle. And usually 3 or 4 iterations, we roll out a product to the beta site. And another practice is to share. When the iteration is over, that means when 2 weeks cycle time is over, we leave no work behind. So except for those things that are done, if there are still anything that's under development, under verification, we will move them to the next coming iterations. So when we scan through all the past iterations, we only see what's done. Okay, and then for the current iterations, we will focus on what's been doing. And last thing about the product backlogs, we also maintain the product backlogs, and each backlog items were written by our business analyst. Okay, we review them. We review their priorities about monthly. So I think Alex just mentioned the Agile projects doesn't mean we don't plan projects. We still have a monthly release planning. However, the project or release planning will only pick high priority items. In the list here, the top ones are higher priorities and the bottom ones are lower priorities. We move them monthly. But when we pick the higher priority items into the working iterations, these are only candidates. That's quite different between an Agile project versus the Waterfall project. In the Waterfall project, what you decide to do, you have to fulfill everything. That's the scope commitment. But for here, it's only candidates because we still add or remove or shift the priorities as needed. So that's why we can never announce to the public what we are going to deliver to you 3 months from now or 3 weeks from now. We only say they are candidates. That's all we say to the customers. Okay, and the last thing I want to share about, after we adopt this mixture of Agile, that means iterative processes within a mini waterfall embedded with each iterations. So far, we have a very quick release cycle time. Today is only September 24th, and this year in 2021, we already make 4 releases to the public. That means to our cloud service, also to our end users. And till end of the year, we expect to have maybe 1 or 2 more releases. So in average, every 2 months, we can have 1 product release to the customers. And these product releases are official releases. So we have beta followed by official products. And these are used by our customers. So it's a much faster and much shorter release cycle time. And that also means a shorter time to respond to our customers' request. And a shorter time to respond to the customer's request, meaning a happier customer. Because when they mention something to you, and after our evaluation, and we say we put into our product backlog, and if they are met high priorities, they will be implemented very shortly. So our customers are happier than before. Because before they may have to wait 6 months, even 1 year for any new request. Now it probably for them a few months. I will not say to the customer a few weeks because there are other priorities, high priority items already in progress. By list, they don't need to wait very long time. And after we incorporate the hybrid model or embedded the mini waterfall into each iteration, the quality is much better because it's not only done by the developers, but also verified by the quality team and by our business team. So it almost kind of like represent the real end user. So that's why the quality is much better than before. The last thing, with this kind of process versus to the traditional waterfall that we did before, the team members, they are working very closely. Because before, say, we spent 2 months on analysis, 2 months on coding, 2 months on testing. People only interact, the different function team only interact with each other when we are moving from phases to phases. But now they are working every day, day to day. So they're working much closely and the team bonding are much higher. This is actually a very good benefit for Agile practices. Because before people just focus on their own things, they focus on their own works. And right now they see what each other is doing. So we are a big team, then we deliver the product together. Okay, so this is my presentation today. And I'm going to see if there's any questions, or maybe later on there's a Q&A session. Thank you.